Plato in the Timaeus make a distinction of the two great forms of being and ask, what is that which is and has no becoming, and what is that which is always becoming and never is, without necessarily subscribing to the Platonic answer to this question, we may surely acknowledge that the question itself is sound and worth asking, that it expresses a perennial demand of human nature, and that the analogy of man's other instincts and cravings assures us that these his fundamental demands always indicate the existence of a supply. The great defect of vitalism, considered as a system, is that it only answers half the question, the half which absolute idealism disdained to answer at all. We have seen that the mystical experience, the fullest all-round experience in regard to the transcendental world, which humanity has attained, declares that there are two aspects, two planes of discoverable reality. We have seen also that hints of these two planes, often clear statements concerning them, abound in mystical literature of the personal. First hand type. Pure being, says Boutro. Who's Boutro? In the course of his exposition of Boheme, Boeheme, has two characteristic manifestations. It shows itself to us as power by means of strife and the struggle and opposition of its qualities, but it shows itself to us as reality in harmonizing and reconciling within itself these discordant opposites. Its manifestation as power, then, is for us in the dynamic world of becoming, amidst the thud and surge of that life, which is compounded of paradox, good and evil, joy and sorrow, life and death. Here, Boheme declares that the absolute God is voluntarily self-revealing. Do you think that's true? God is voluntarily self-revealing. But each revelation has as its condition the appearance of its opposite. Light can only be recognized at the price of knowing darkness.
Read that again.
What?
But
each revelation has as its condition the appearance of its opposite. Light can only be recognized at the price of knowing darkness. Life needs death, love needs wrath. Hence, if pure being, the good, beautiful, and true. See, you don't like the opposite side to those. Is to reveal itself, and must do so by evoking and opposing its contrary, as in the Hegelian dialectic. No idea is complete without its negative. Such a revelation by strife, however, is rightly felt by man to be incomplete. Absolute reality, the player whose sublime music is expressed at the cost of this everlasting friction between bow and lyre. It's like we're reading the other book. It's present, it is true in his music. It's like we're reading the untuning of the sky here. But he is best known in that light behind, that unity where all these opposites are lifted and up into harmony, into a higher synthesis, and the melody is perceived not as a difficult progress of sound, but as a whole. What's he talking about? What? The sentence.
Got all the opposites are written after dialogue. I've been for years. I've been intrigued by the opposites.
But he is best known in that light behind. There's a light behind. That unity where all of these opposites are lifted up into harmony, into a higher synthesis, and the melody is perceived not as a difficult progress of sound, but as a whole. We have then, quote, a real achieved reality, which the Greeks and everyone after them meant by that seemingly chill abstraction, which they call pure being. That absolute one, unconditioned and undiscoverable, in whom all is assumed, all is resumed, in the undifferentiated Godhead of Eckhart, the transcendent father of Orthodox Christian theology. We see the mind's attempt to conceive that wholly other reality, unchanging yet changer of all. It is the great contribution of the mystics to humanity's knowledge of the real that they find in this absolute, in defiance of the metaphysicians, a personal objective of the goal of their quest. A living one who lives first and lives perfectly, and who touching me, the inferior derivative life, can cause me to live by him and for his sake. But contradicting the nihilism, Eastern contemplatives, they see also a reality in the dynamic side of things in the seething pot of appearance. They are aware of an eternal becoming, a striving, free, evolving life, and not merely as a shadow show, but as an explicit of their cosmos felt also in the travail of their own souls. God's manifestation, or showing in which he is eminent, in all which his spirit truly works and strives. It is in this phase of reality that all individuals' life is immersed. This is the stream which set out from the heart of God and turns again home. It seems there's a stream that goes out and then turns again home. Is there a stream?
It's like breathing.
The stream
Goes out and in again.
that set out from God, and then which set out from the heart of God and turns again home. The mystic knows his task to be attainment of being, eternal life, union with the One, the return to the Father. Tune to the Father's heart, for the parable of the prodigal son is to him the history of the universe. The return of the Son is no less the history of the universe. This union is to be attained first by cooperation in that life which bears him up, in which he is immersed. He must become conscious of this, quote, great life of the all. Are you conscious of the overall great life of the all? Merge himself in it, and he will find his way back whence he came. It's like we're trying to go back somewhere by following the stream and turning home. Is that like becoming a stream winner in Buddhism? He must become conscious of this great life of all. Merge himself in it and find his way back whence he came. Vasoli, Vesoli, Hence, there are really two distinct acts of divine union, two distinct kinds of illumination involved in the mystic way. The dual character of the spiritual consciousness brings a dual responsibility and a strain. First, there is the union with life, with the world of becoming, and parallel with it, the illumination by which the mystic gazes upon a more veritable world. Secondly, there is the union with being with the one, and that final ineffable illumination of pure love, which is called the knowledge of God. We're reading from the Mysticism, the study on nature and development of spiritual consciousness, Evelyn Underhill. Though the development of the third factor, through the development of the third factor, creative spirit, the scrap of absolute life, which is the ground of his soul, that mystic can conceive and accomplish these transcendent acts. Only being can know being. We behold that which we are, and are that which we behold. Are we just what we behold? But that there is a spark in man's soul, says the mystics, which is real, which in fact is, and for its cultivation we may know reality. Thus, says Van Hugel, a real succession, real efforts, and the continuous sense of limitation, and inadequacy are the very means in and through which man comprehends increasingly, if only he thus loves and wills, the contrasting yet sustaining simultaneity, spontaneity, infinity, and pure action of the internal life of God. I don't know. Do you understand it?
This is simplistic.
This is a chapter on, I believe, vitalism,
Very much
page
trying to say
24.
what the master say, but with the master, it's the experience that makes everything just comprehensive in a way. You understand it in a different way.
We're reading from page 23.
But they don't have the means, it seems, to say it. So they turn around.
We read, reading from Mysticism by Underhill. There was a section on vitalism. Are we going to be vital? I'd like to be vital.